They are the world's two largest economies, China and the United States. They have different outlooks and cultures, of course, but for decades they have had increasingly closer ties, and top among them, business and trade. Both governments say they want those ties to strengthen, and it was in that spirit that the provincial government of Guangdong recently hosted an event in New York City aimed at boosting trade and cooperation. Karina joins me now with more on how it went. Hi, Karina. Nice to see you.
Hi, Michelle.
You were at that event.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, it was a packed event. I mean, there were more than 400 people there, including the mayor of Guangzhou, some top officials from the Commerce Department in the province of Guangdong. And on the U.S. side, the lieutenant governor of New York State was there, as well as top officials from the Department of Commerce. Now, the goal, of course, to increase trade, investment, and cooperation between the two. It was about networking, but also about business development. Now, one of the speakers was Myron from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and this is what he had to say about what has changed in the trade relationship between the U.S. and China.
20 years ago, when I first started going to China regularly, it was U.S. companies always going to China and looking at Guangdong as a manufacturing hub. What is now changing is you see Chinese firms, companies coming here and making investments in New York City and elsewhere. And that's part of the future that is very promising for creating jobs in our country.
Well, in New York, most of the Chinese investment has been in real estate. However, with New York City being the financial capital of the world, a lot of Chinese banks are interested in increasing their presence here. And one of those banks is the Bank of China, which has 2 branches already in New York City.
More and more Chinese companies now coming to the United States to make investments. I think it's new opportunities for Chinese financial institutions operating here to expand our business.
Now, another big focus for the conference was on technological innovation, including biotech. And one of the speakers there was the chairman of Myron, which is a leader in manufacturing medical devices. It is based in Shenzhen, but it has an R&D facility in New Jersey, not far from New York City. And this is what the chairman had to say about doing business in the United States.
The United States is a leading force in innovation, and it's a very open market. Based on the past experience, our cooperation with U.S. scientists has been very fruitful. That's why we choose here to expand our business.
Now, there was also a focus at the conference on looking for business opportunities in the area of internet and e-commerce. Michelle?
Right, Karina. Now, recently there have been a number of instances where Chinese companies' bids for U.S. tech companies have fallen through because of concerns they wouldn't get over regulatory hurdles. Is this a really big deal? How big of an issue is this?
Well, it is an issue, but it seems to be more of an issue of perception. At least that's what the Commerce Department says, is that from the Chinese perspective, they worry about regulatory hurdles, but they say that there really is the commitment to try to get those deals passed through. This is what the Commerce Department had to say.
The challenge is that I'm afraid sometimes Chinese investors have some misconceptions about investing in the United States. They have some concerns. But I think if you actually look at the numbers, if they study the numbers, if they study the transactions, they'll see that the U.S. and New York are definitely open for business and welcome Chinese investment into the United States.
Open for business. That might not be the message that is being sent out in this election cycle, but everyone I spoke to said that on the city and state level, there is tremendous support and appetite for Chinese investment.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.